I'm going to discuss about how to use Windows Server 2012 R2 as a local computer, as a local client or workgroup station. So it is not like that you can or you should use Windows Server 2012 as a server. You can use it as a local computer as well as a workgroup station as well. And it's not like that you have to migrate, you have to promote the Windows Server 2012 operating system as a server. So you can use this particular operating system or the version of this operating system as a local computer as well. So what is required in it, and how you can get a enhancement, because in the past as well, when we used the Windows Server, we found that the graphically Windows servers are never made attractive, so much attractive like it used to be in the workgroup stations, workgroup computer operating systems, are like Windows 10 operating system. Now the Windows Server 2012 basically used to have no start button, but R2 have a start button, and that is why, and the previous versions as well, as we discussed in the previous video, that since Windows Server 2012 R2 are now moved to Metro UI, that is why the entire start is now in your big screen, is in your system screen. Otherwise, what we used to see in the past of operating systems, that start button used to pop up, and it used to take one part of your system, one part of your desktop, one part of the screen of the desktop. But here the entire start used to be there in the screen. Also, Windows Server 2012 R2 used to have no start, so there's no start button, but you haven't pressed the start button. Used to have the pop-up, a strip kind of pop-up to see these applications. Now you can see these applications. When I select the command prompt, you find out that in the right click you can either pin to start taskbar, open it in a new window, run as administrator, run as different user, open file location. So basically, when you used to open command prompt, these are the sub menus where you can use command prompt the way you wish to. Either you can pin it to start if you are oftenly use command prompt so many times, and you can have to pin to task bar as well, or pin to start, or as use as a admin, or use as a local user. Or you can also check out where this stop, where the command prompt link is, or where it is installed, the file link, where the file path rather. You can also bring out some enhancement. Once you bring out the enhancement, you can also see the applications. Currently these applications are installed already, and basically most of the applications are already been there, or already supposed to be there in the client operating systems. So when you bring out the enhancement of workgroup station local system, you can see more and more applications. So currently these are categorized in a group, and by name you can modify those as well. Group wise, you can set what are the tools you needed most. You can create a group and set up there. Now before we go ahead and you start using Windows Server 2012 as a workgroup computer, we need to install one row feature rather. So when you go with the manage part, before you begin, you can see these are the important points before you move ahead with the addition of rows or feature, or removal of rows and feature. You can also see there is two options. One is role based, feature based installation. and then there's remote desktop service installation. So as we mentioned that since you can now manage Windows Server 2012 clients as remotely, you can go ahead with that feature. Or we are since going with the role-based installation. That is why you have two options now. Either select the server from a server pool if you created a new server pool, or this particular operating system will be there in one pool, or you can add or you can install those enhancement feature or a role in a virtual hard disk. So you have two options: either you select this standalone operating system which is you are working with now, or you can install the roles in a virtual hard disk. So when you go with the roles part, you have options like if you want to add the Windows Server Essential experience, you can go ahead with it. You will also get the features installed automatically once you select the enhancement when you go ahead with the installation part, or you have more and more installations available. If you wish to add more rows at a time, you can go ahead with it. Like you have a client for NFS, direct play, enhanced storage, variable clustering, IS related role. That depends on where your need is with the server. So that is why if you are using this operating system as a local system, as a client system, then also there is no issue whatsoever, because you always have a chance to move your server in some level or migrate the server into some level which fulfill your task, which complete your task. And obviously this particular operating system would give you or allow you option to migrate the server into Active Directory. So now you can add more features if you are not moving to the rows part. So these are the rows which are available, and you can also read the description as well, and you will always have the options to add the server, and you can also have the options to bring features on remote servers as well. So for example, I'm going with the feature pad now. Most of the features are, like for example, based on remote SMTP server. These are features which allow you to do access in remotely. The thing which we are going to add is desktop experience, which allow the enhanced version of Windows Server, and allow you and give you some graphical tools as well, the applications as well. So I'm adding it and going with next. I'm also letting the restart destination server automatically if required, so that your server automatically asks for a restart, or it restart the feature automatically. But anyhow, we are unchecking it, because in that case, if server asks to restart, or if somehow server then also require a restart, we always needs to do that. So it is basically if you are doing an unplanned way, you can always skip that part. Now we are currently adding the feature. I'm pausing a video. Once it's done, I will get back to you. Okay, So the installation part is done. You can see a restart is pending now, and rest the installation part is done. And once it's done, you need to restart your system to get it done. The process needs to be done. So role the feature installed, and this is how you can basically install the feature here. You can check it out the task details. You can always see the local server is in red and the mark is red. You can also check out the events, where the events are currently in. So local server, it will always give you a warning because a restart is there before we go ahead with the desktop and enhancement. We get that option. So it is basically required because we have made some changes and we need to make some changes or require changes. So once the restart done, we get these additional options. So I'm also choosing the reason, and if I say hardware maintenance, it was planned, or installation, it was planned. So once it comes through it, the restart option, we will get back to you. Currently I'm skipping this step. Okay, so I have skipped that restart part. It might take you so long, but for me, luckily done quickly. So I've skipped that part. Now I've restarted my system. Additionally, some of the features might be now available, so you can always go ahead with the feature, and you can always find these details. You can see there is a store option is now available, which is directly move you to Microsoft Store, where you can have access of applications developed through Microsoft, and that developers are actually added the applications in the store, so you can always go through it. You can see and you can also install those applications if required. You can also see some of the applications are also added, like sound recorders, step recorders, paint are there now. So these are the additional applications which enhance you and give you the opportunity to use these Windows Server 2012 as a local system, a local computer, or a client, a workgroup client, a workgroup system, whatever you named it. So these are the applications which are available now post the addition of the feature in the Windows Server 2012. Rest, you can always have the options to install the roles and migrate the system into the operating system in the Windows Server operating system. So hope you learned something about this video. Thanks.